Hey guys, I wanted to share a lot of value to you guys. And this is something that has been bothering me for a lot of time. And this is similar to the video I made on friendship where there is a hidden shackle which in the back of our mind is holding us back. And not only that, but holding our income back as business owners. And it's not some sort of tactic that we might think, or not having the knowledge of some sort that we might believe, but it's something to do with our own mind, and our brain plays a lot of things on us. Our brain actually plays us like a puppet, which is a bad thing in most of the ways because it can negatively affect us as well, which it is doing. And one of the shackles of life, and one of the hidden shackles that hold us back, is basically the fear of success. And I mentioned this in the other video where I explained that the fear of success in the terms of friendship. But now the fear of success, what is it that hold us back, and how can we fear success? Isn't that something that we should strive for and aim to obtain? Well, the truth is that most of us unintentionally and subconsciously fear success. We have this notion and idea in our society that it's bad to win, and the society has conditioned us to believe that winning is as bad as sinning. It's like we're committing a crime by winning. It's like that we can't even think of making $100,000 per month, and you might be making $30,000 per month right now, or even 50K per month. But the thought of making 100K per month, and if I say to you that you're gonna make it in the next month, you your internal system will cripple. And while outside, externally, you might think, okay, I'll do it and I should strive to do that. But internally, your brain is holding you back, and it's not even your fault. The thing is, it's all about the pre programming society has done on us, which I hate. And I was a part of it for a long, long time until I figured this out almost a year ago. I spent a large amount of time, nearly 5 years, to learn about winning. I saw a lot of these people, all of these elites, whether they were athletes or the highly paid actors or celebrities or even the business founders. And I went through their interview clips, and I replayed their clips back to back on the instances where they revealed certain things, where they slipped the truth that they didn't intend to do that, and perhaps it slipped out of their mouth. But I picked them and I noted these down, and what I noticed that these people weren't afraid to win, uh, but in reality, instead, these people were the ones who were relentless on winning, and they had no shame on winning. But when I looked around me, I saw that everybody, including me, thought that it was taboo to win, to succeed, to earn a lot of money. And even thinking good for your own self was considered bad. It's like it's considered bad. People shame you for being selfish, arrogant, for thinking for your own self. And men mostly get this shade from society that they can't even think for themselves, let alone win and make a lot of money. No wonder they're stuck at 30K per month or 50K per month, and they cannot get past this revenue ceiling. But why do people have this in the first place? Well, it's because people don't want you to go ahead of them, even if they're your friends. they don't want you to succeed more than them. You know, friendship is a pretty tribal thing. In our ancestral time, we were tribal men. We were people of the tribe, and what we did was we hung out with our community, and anything that allowed us to be a part of the community, we did all of that. And the opposite was also true. Anything that we did that allowed the community to look down at us in a bad way and look at us in a negative way, we avoided that at all costs. Because guess what? The tribal people, they could kick you out from the tribe at just an instant, and the other tribes wouldn't pick you up either. So you were kind of lost. What were you gonna do? You couldn't survive without the people. There were there were animals out to get you, and there wasn't any food or shelter to back you up or to let you survive. So you were stranded, which means you were abandoned, which also means you were abandoned to just die. That you were just let alone to die. So we have this programming that if we are gonna escape the societal expectations, that they're gonna abandon us and we're gonna die. That is the idea behind all of our ancestral animal brain. And that is what goes beneath the surface. Nobody's going to admit it. Nobody's going to know this intentionally. But with the research, with knowing how the mind works psychologically, we know that this goes at the back of our mind. So society has come to play it safe and avoid the spotlight and avoid winning at all. So if somebody has a dream of becoming a multimillionaire, which I should advise you of having this dream, and you shouldn't settle below that at all. Your only dream should be a multimillionaire that is worth over $100 million and nothing below that. You've got this life, and striving to just be a millionaire, just have a few $1 million in your bank account is not enough. So making $1 million is nothing, and you shouldn't aim that, because what we aim for is usually not what we achieve. We become our lowest standards instead of our highest aspirations or dreams. That's why we say that aim for the stars so we land on the moon, because the moon is the lowest standard we've set. But the irony is, and the fun fact is that when we it's only when we aim for the stars, then our lowest standard automatically shift to the moon instead of any other place remotely close to Earth. Now, let's say you're shooting from Earth. You gotta aim for the galaxy far across, the star in the galaxy far across from you, not even in the Milky Way, far across from you, so that you can land on your moon. So coming back to the spotlight and this fear that holds people back, let me tell you this. It's perfectly okay for you to win. And I told myself this multiple times. I need to make it a solid, concrete belief in myself that it's okay to win. Because I always found myself to be understated, to even not only protect and hide my flaws, but even hide my wins from people. I didn't even tell them how much I succeeded, how much money I made. And I kept it all to myself to not appear big. And it's crazy to even think like that, because I wanted to be a multimillionaire by not being big. Doesn't even make sense. Like I'm saying I need money, but I don't need money at the same time. It's like it's a weird limiting belief that we can't even see. But I'm trying to bring this into your awareness so you can observe this first, and then once you've identified this, then you can eliminate it all around from you. And I want you to give yourself the permission to succeed. No matter if you're appearing big to other people, people will see that you're becoming wealthy. People will see, the lifestyle will reflect. Even if you're not spending big, which I totally recommend you to not indulge in the lifestyle a lot, because it's gonna take consume you, and it's gonna take away all the cash flow from your business and feed into the lifestyle, which is not good. But still, while having money, you'll still have a lifestyle, more comfortable lifestyle than a lot of these people who aren't even making 10K per month, which is fine. You don't need to back down. If you want to win, you got to embrace being a winner. You can't win big if you're ashamed of winning. And this is the worst thing about it, is that it ties the guilty feeling to money and success. So whenever you're thinking about stretching and extending your income and making a lot of more money than you are, and adding extra 30 to $50,000 to your income, unintentionally and subconsciously you shrink back down, because there's this guilty feeling. And if you know that guilty feeling is out there to destroy you, it is one of those feelings which cripples you, which holds you back, and you can feel it in your chest. And if it's associated with money, then you're associating money with something negative and with something as destructive as guilt. Then you're never gonna make it big. Sure, you're making $50,000 or $30,000 per month, but you can never outgrow that. And if the worst thing is if the guilty feeling is becomes big, if you feed more into that, then you might even lose the money you have. You might even make decisions that back you down from the position you are in right now. And if you're making $50,000 per month, you could fall back to 30K per month, which is the worst thing about this guilty feeling. But I want you to understand one thing: it's okay for you to win. Give yourself the permission to succeed. And the only thing that's gonna hold you back and gonna keep you concrete in your decision, so you cannot fold whenever this feeling comes, because it's gonna come, because it has been a belief for a long time. And to change a belief, you need to repeatedly feed your belief some information. So you're gonna act like an elder brother, and and whenever you're in doubt, you're gonna use one of the rules, which is called the noble cause rule, which states that you're doing a service. You're making a lot of money, and you're aiming to make more money than you are right now, but you're doing it for the people. Doing for the people, you've got mouths to feed. You've got people who rely on you. You got your parents who you want to retire, or who you've got your family. You got to provide for your family, and you have all of these clients which you love helping. So whenever you're in doubt, you gotta have the repetitive prompts. And repetitive prompts is, you gotta tell your brain, and you gotta condition yourself in a way where if X happens, you gotta initiate the prompt Y. For instance, if you get this feeling that you're winning, you're appearing big to people, and people may look down upon you as this evil, rude, arrogant, rich person, then initiate the prompt saying the stating the noble cause rule. Uh, and this is to tell you that you should use the noble cause rule. It's like pinging and notifying your brain quickly. As soon as you have this thought appear in your head, immediately you initiate the prompt. And doing so will kick off these limiting beliefs or these destructive thoughts before they even appear. And I'm going to touch on the noble cause rule. It is to deeply believe that you're doing it for your family. You're doing it for the clients, and you're providing value to countless of people. And you might even have team members, so you're providing employment to your staff members. Think about how big of a difference you're making. And then after you have the money, you're giving it to charity and helping the needy and the homeless and the poor. You're doing this is beyond you. The purpose is beyond you. You're helping a lot of people, and you're feeding the homeless person who hasn't eaten in 2 days. You're doing it because you can give $10 or even $100 to the Girl Scout every time she rings your bell, or the people selling lemonade, or the kids selling stuff. And you can buy all of their lemonade. You can buy the entire stall. You're doing it for the people. And you got to remind that we're doing it what we're doing it for, which becomes the biggest motivator for us. And if it's a noble cause, then that is even a bigger motivator for us humans, because we are tribal people. And if we're doing it for others, it just sucks back into it the energy. It feeds us back the positive energy to keep on going, to keep on going. And kindness is a universal trait and is a need for all human beings. And working for something greater than ourselves is often something that changes our lives for the better. And in this case, it adds a lot of income, a lot of extra income to our name. And you got to remind yourself of this and make this a repetitive prompt every time you're in doubt. Now you know that whenever you get this doubt in your head that you're about winning or taking the spotlight, then you can initiate repetitive prompt. Another thing that you could do is, whenever you're in the spot, you're feeling this awkward thing and a weird feeling inside of you when you're winning or when you're appearing big, and you're feeling this discomfort inside of you, where people are looking at you and you can feel that they're judging you because you have a lot of money. Then at that point, I want you to think about, is it better to lose or to win? Would it be better for you to be a homeless person and then feel the discomfort of people looking at you? Wouldn't it be much more worse? And the feeling of discomfort, wouldn't it be much more worse than it is right now if you were small than you were big? Think about it. We tend to shame ourselves for succeeding and having a lot of money. But if 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 you're homeless, and think about it, I can't even think about it. It's just making me sad. And it just shifts the perspective a lot more than for a lot of people, because thinking of being small and thinking of people are still going to judge you. If you're a homeless person, people are still going to judge you. They're going to think you're a junkie. They're going to think that you're a loser. Is it better for people to judge you for that, or or for people to judge you as a rich person? Oh, he's an evil rich person. Well, the obvious second option is true. So you have to not back away and not shame yourself and not have guilty feelings around winning, because it's far worse to lose than to win. Because at least you're getting the spotlight for winning and not for being a homeless person or for being a junkie. And I have no hate for the homeless people. I have a lot of empathy for these people. uh, and I my heart just it it aches when I see these people on the street, and I want to help all of them. But at the same time, I want you to understand this, that it is better to win than to lose. And I want you to never apologize for winning. Never. Because even losers aren't apologetic for losing. Like I said, I have all the respect for the poor and the homeless people, but they aren't apologetic for who they are. They they tend to stay like that for years, for the entirety of their lives, and they aren't even apologetic for that. Heck, they embrace that. So why wouldn't you embrace winning? That's why it is important for you to be proud of winning. But at the same time, while people associate bad things about rich people and say that, well, rich people are evil, rude, and arrogant, I want you to have to follow the humility rule to avoid coming across that way. And the humble winner law states that basically you this has been going on inside of my mind all the time. Whenever I see people hating on money, whenever I see people saying that money has no value, you just, and I'm speaking this the exact words coming out the and I'm telling you the exact words that I heard from my own ears. People say, yeah, "Oh, you just tear the money is like paper. You just tear it and it loses all the value." They don't understand this, and it aches me, and I just get super frustrated whenever I encounter people like having all these beliefs like that. But I can't do anything. What I can do is just change the beliefs and help people to change their beliefs in a way that they make more money, so they become financially independent. But w- I don't argue with them in real life. That's why I'm making this video. I want the and business owners to make a lot of money by reducing this limiting again. And that's why I'm making this video. I want people to understand that they have this limiting beliefs. Even I had this for a long time, and I had to eliminate it. And even the business owners, they have this massive limiting belief, and they wonder why. They try everything. They've tried all the courses. They still wonder why they're stuck and why they're not making the progress in and not getting the income that they want. But it all boils down to this first, and then the other things follow. So if it's not catered, if it's not identified and fixed, nothing else will matter. And I this kind of like a video for my old self first, and then to the business owners, because I had this problem for the longest time. And even my parents has had this problem. Whenever we talked about money, we always had this issue of hating the rich. Why do we hate the rich? If we want to become rich, we can't hate the rich. It's like you want to become an athlete, a pro athlete, a pro basketballer, but you hate basketballers. It doesn't make any sense. So if you now this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many rules and laws that I've gathered and collected by studying the elite. So if you're stuck at a certain revenue ceiling, whether it's 30K or 50K per month, and you're stuck there for a long time, even if you're not stuck, you want to scale your business and add an extra $30 to $50,000 per month, then I have a lot more protocols and frameworks for you to apply and install, not only in your business but also in your thinking, to scale your business rapidly. And if you want me to help you with that, then click the link below to book a call with me.